Hello and welcome to Have Fun Cooking. Today we're going to be making some cheesy au gratin potatoes. And the first thing we're going to need to do is peel some potatoes and slice them up. So let's go ahead and peel them. Make sure you peel enough potatoes to fit in whatever dish you're using. I'm using this 9 by 13 dish, so I'm peeling enough to fit in here. Okay, so now we're going to use the mandolin to slice them, or you can simply just use your knife if you'd like to. This is a good thickness, but I'm going to use the mandolin. As you slice your potatoes, make sure you put them in some cold water. Okay, if they start to turn colors, that's fine. Just make sure you put them in some cold water and rinse them off a little bit, and then they'll turn back white. See, here's the potatoes right here. These make perfect slices for this. This is about 2.5 millimeters thick. Okay, so once you have your potatoes peeled, cut, and put into some cold water, set these aside because now you're going to make the white sauce for your au gratin potatoes. Okay, so now we're about to make the cheese sauce. And the first thing you want to do is melt your butter. We're going to make a roux. And then we're going to make a white sauce, which is a bechamel sauce. Okay, so once your butter is melted, just take some flour. This is about a 1/4 cup of flour or a few tablespoons of flour. Put it in there. Whisk it around. Let this cook for a minute or two. Here's your 2 cups of milk. Stir this around and let this come to a boil, and then you'll be able to see how thick your cheese sauce is going to be. Okay, the sauce has thickened up, so now you want to add your seasonings. Add some salt, about a teaspoon of salt. Okay, and add some pepper. And add a teaspoon of ground mustard powder. You can add this at this point, or you can add it whenever you melt the butter. Either way. And once you get this all stirred up, then you can add some of your cheese. We're going to add a total of about 2 cups of cheese, but only add about half of it right now. We can turn this off. This is nice and hot. You can use whatever cheese you want. I'm using a mix. This is some Colby and Monterey Jack cheese. And I'm also going to use some sharp cheddar cheese, and I'm going to use some mozzarella cheese, but I'm going to use that whenever we layer it. And now this should be ready. And as for seasoning, I also added about a teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder to this too. Okay, so now we're going to layer our au gratin potatoes in the cheese sauce. So let's drain these, and then we're going to layer it in this. And with this 9 by 13 casserole dish, we're going to oil it up first. Oil it or butter it, whichever one you prefer. Okay, let's drain our potatoes and start layering. Put the first layer down. And in between each layer, I like to put some sauce and some cheese. I also want to season the potatoes themselves with some salt. Just a little bit of salt. Just to give them some flavor themselves. If your cheese sauce is a little too thick, just go ahead and thin it out with just a little bit of milk. Use whatever cheese you have on hand. Alright, and add the I'm not putting any cheese on the top. I wait until they're almost done. About 15 minutes from being done, and then I'm going to put some on top so that can get nice and browned. So we're going to cover this up and let this bake in the oven on 350. This is probably going to take about hour 15 minutes. So we'll see it after 45 minutes and see how tender the potatoes are. Okay, so here it is. Potatoes au gratin. It's done. This took a while, about 2 hours, just over 2 hours. And here's a tip. Whenever you have your potatoes, they're cut, they're sliced up, they're in the water in the bowl, you can microwave those until they're soft. That may take about 15-20 minutes in the microwave, and that'll make the baking go a lot quicker. And also make sure that you season your cheese sauce well, because the potatoes are going to take in a lot of that flavor. But this is good. Okay, so if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell for future videos. And remember, have fun cooking.